you can't get off the weed, acting like, oh, well, you know what, it ain't nothing wrong with it or whatever. Everything eviscerated, thrown away, confiscated, taken from you because you can't stay off the weed. Stay off the damn weed. And they don't listen. Stupid.
Yo. What up?
What's up?
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
Just living the dream. A little hungover.
Oh.
Not bad. But I actually woke, my hangover woke me up at like 3 a.m.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah.
I cannot stand the midnight sleep, whatever, mid-sleep, wake up from drinking. It's the worst.
Yeah.
Just can't get back
it's
to
awful.
sleep.
I didn't think I was that drunk either, but
Was it did you drink a lot?
but apparently I was.
Drink a lot of sugar in your drink?
No, it was nothing but the normal, just, Tito's and soda.
Because my wife has a theory, like, if you drink, like, sugary alcohol drinks, that's what wakes you up at night.
Yeah.
For her, at least.
No, it's just the normal stuff, whatever it was.
The normal alcohol. So we got like half this crew are in cars today.
Yeah.
Well,
Podcasters in cars getting coffee.
I'm only taking the best signals today.
Oh yeah, boot him.
Where's Maze, man?
See this signal? See it?
Oh, there's Haberstroh's not in a car.
Oh, yeah. Here comes Tom flaunting his broadband again.
Just got one signal in my middle finger here, Jade. See that signal?
Unfortunately, no.
Getting it loud and clear,
Fortunately,
Jade?
no. Dude, I was dying. I just put out this clip from the show yesterday about the Compton Cowboys. Oh my God, it's so funny. It is so.
Check it out on Jade_Hoy.
Or at
H-O-I.
At back to back with a 2. Back to back. Searat's with us today, I think.
Oh,
no, she's not.
Shout out to Seerat. Okay, never mind.
Wait.
Probably forgot.
Well, that would have been fun if she was on the show.
It would have been great.
Would have been awesome.
One would think it would have been great.
Searat was. Did you meet up with her in California?
Me?
Yeah.
No. When was she in California?
She was out there last week.
Oh, well then she's dead to me.
I saw her tweet at Trey, like, where's Harper and let's meet up or something.
She knows how to contact me. I also wasn't here.
Anyone check out that game last night?
Sure did.
Pretty fun.
I was at a bar with it seemed like mostly Michigan people.
Yeah.
Mostly Michigan people, and it was they were not happy.
Mm-hmm.
We can go live to Waz's Uber pool right now.
That's Trey riding outside of the car.
Nah, the driver has his window down.
All right, tell him roll the windows. Roll him up, baby. You need me to talk to him?
Yeah, put him on the Bluetooth.
I could tell that to the driver.
Of course you can tell him to put the windows up.
He wants 5 stars, doesn't he?
Mariano, my condolences.
Condolences for what, man?
The loss last night.
Hey, man, listen. We was happy to be here, man. I'm out here.
I could not help but laugh going back to yesterday's show, and Jared guaranteed the victory because someone died. What?
What?
I don't even know what that story was about until today. I still didn't follow it.
One of his late friends was a big Michigan fan, and before I guess he passed, he just kind of certain teams to win, and that's what happened. So
I don't think it was a friend of his, was it? I don't think it was his friend.
No, I mean, look, listen. First and foremost, I'm never the sore loser. I'm never the sore loser.
Another team.
Trey trying to get that
Get that usage up.
Trey, let us know when you're situated.
But look, no. Here's the thing. So I'm never the sore loser. So I want to say hats off to Nova. Obviously they were one of the most consistent teams in the tourney. Like if you watched it, from the beginning, us. Listen, we played a great tournament. We had a great year. Shout out to my man Mar. I still love the guys, man. I still love the squad, man. We had a great year. Like we started off kind of crazy. Like I don't know if any of y'all like watch college basketball like that, but we had a real weird year earlier. And then in the tournament we're like one Jordan Poole buzzer beating 3 away from not even being in it. Not even being there. So good, man.
Yeah, Mari, I hadn't watched a single game, so I approached it blindly. But the fact that I know about Villanova's overall history, that even Dante was a redshirt during that championship year,
right,
and they've had like a real stacked program for a while. So I just that's why I picked them off of experience.
Yeah, I mean listen, they've had NBA level talent, like on that team, like guys who really just understand the game, and obviously they have a great coach, but like that team is just that team is really crazy. Like the rotations that they run, the lineups they put out there, just all season long, not even just in the tournament. Like they're just a great team. So listen,
where does this rank Jay Wright though, as far as coaches? I mean, this is
he got to be up there.
This is two natties, and then he also has a good program background with most of his point guards being good floor generals.
Yeah,
the history of it at least.
No,
he's a lot better than Calipari. He can actually coach. Calipari can recruit, and that's great. And that's 80% of college basketball or whatever.
Yeah.
But Jay Wright actually coaches.
Nah, 100% he does. That's what I'm saying. Like you gotta tip your hat to a guy like that because. It's I'm never here for more victories, but like, it's no shame in losing to that team. Like, had we lost to Loyola and that bullshit, I would have been tight. But you lose to Villanova, it's like, man, listen, that team was just ready. And like you said, Jay Wright, he's just a great coach, man. Like I remember when they won the Natty a couple years ago, I was just like, yo, that dude is serious. Like he's the real deal. So hats off to them, man. Salute, man, for a good tournament. Congrats.
I really like that kid, Mo.
Yeah,
from Michigan.
Yeah, Mo Wagner, man. Wagner was the heart all season, man. All tournament long. I think Wagner. It was Wagner. I think if you rank them top 3, Wagner. I think Mara probably was second, and then I want to say Jordan Poole was third, just as far as like energy guys and guys who just willed us to those wins. But Wagner, he's incredible, man.
Yeah, he can hoop.
Yeah,
Wagner.
Seerat,
are you here?
Something.
Yep.
Seerat.
Since we're on
the new
college,
Justin Verrier.
Since we're all talking about college right now, it's a big topic this morning about the most outstanding players tweets from about 7 years ago.
Dante De Vincenzo.
How many people?
Dante D.
Yeah, how many people when they found out, they're like, "Oh, who's this guy?" And the first word was Dante. They were like, "What?"
Yeah,
Dante. And then De Vincenzo, and you're like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense."
Yeah. That's what fucked me up. Was like it was Dante, and it reminded me of Power. Like, wait, white Dante or black Dante? Like, which one we talking about here?
Hey, shout out to Dante Calabria from UNC's title team in '96.
Sure, absolutely. That was my next sentence, Tom. Also, don't let your wife,
my guy.
Don't let your wife hear the part where I shit on John Calipari.
Yeah.
Should we make a big deal over old tweets?
Depends how old.
So he was.
And it depends how old the person is. Like, how old
Siri, what's up?
Hey.
What'd you do? Unplug the mic?
No, I just I'm on my earphones. I'm giving up on the mic.
Why?
It's over.
Okay.
It doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Team LeBron now, giving up on the mic.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So yeah.
Oh boy.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was.
But yeah, these tweets are dated back 7 years ago. He's 21 now, so that made him 14 years old, which I couldn't imagine having Twitter at 14.
Yeah.
Right.
But
all right, he didn't know to use that word at 14.
I mean, like I've had conversations with plenty of friends this morning. That's why I kind of wrote the tweet out to see.
Right.
And in different areas, you know, we had a similar conversation on Black to Black yesterday about different regions accepting it culturally differently. You know, so like especially like in New York's communities are kind of just like loose, no matter what color you are. You know, where Coast we have more Samoan, bit Hispanic culture, but not too much white saying it. You know, but it was also a rap song lyric from Meek Mill, which is ironic, I guess. I don't know. Do we hold players accountable for old tweets during their youth, or just old tweets in general? You know,
I mean,
because the news brings up old tweets all the time after like a certain player, a certain person is shot and killed, and they say, "Oh, this person was problematic." So, do we hold those athletes accountable?
I mean, it's all public record. Like, you say it. Like, that you have to own it. Now, hopefully, you learn not to do it at some point. Like, he was 14. Well, I don't think you should be tweeting at 14 anyway.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, I think if you're dumb enough to use that word, whether it's in a lyric or not, like, come on.
See,
I just think that's dumb.
Here's the thing for me. It's not necessarily about being held accountable for something you said at 14. It's about however old you are, you know, you're not above being called to the podium to speak on why you said it, what was going, you know, whatever. And like, if you've grown from that, because I've had this conversation with plenty of, you know, I had this conversation with y'all in person up in New York. Like, there's words that I used to use when I was younger that the environment was like, even though I know this word was, you know, used for something else, I wasn't using it that way. But the older I got, I was like, you know what? That's just not a good word to say, period. Right. Regardless. Like, it doesn't matter how I mean it or how somebody takes it or whatever. Like, it's just not good to use it. So if somebody called me to the podium over it, it's like, okay, cool. Yeah, I have to speak on why I said that, and I apologize and move forward. But yeah, I mean, you can do that. I don't think you should necessarily look at that and say this is who he is today, unless that is who he is. Like, if he's still doing that, then it's like, all right, come on, man. Like,
yeah, like I think too. Like, I don't think this makes him a bad person that he tweeted a Meek Mill lyric at 14, right? Like, I think it makes him dumb at 14 to think that was.
Yeah,
fine, right?
He looked like a kid that snuck Four Locos or something like that. Like, I mean, at this point, I never took any of those tweets as racial. I took them as, you know, this kid loving a culture and pretty much being over adapted to it with no repercussions. You know, like I mean,
you can love a culture and still offend it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying necessarily like you have to be offended, but like you take it however you want to take it. But but it's just there are like, now this is probably a bad example. Let's say I get hired as Skip Bayless's personal assistant tomorrow, right? And I don't scrub the tweets over the years where I've made fun of Skip Bayless. Those are going to come up. Right. Like that, it happened to Joy Taylor, his co-host on whatever that show is that he does with the Sharp, Shannon Sharp. I almost called him Sterling Sharp. With Shannon Sharp.
The Sharp.
Like she was shitting on Skip for years because of the Miami LeBron stuff. Yeah. And then she gets hired to be a coach, and all of a sudden those tweets pop up, and it's not the same thing, but that's what happens.
And also, Zach, like in rap, there has been like a history of like rappers who were like rappers who are established now. At one point in time, they were aspiring, and they necessarily didn't know that they were going to pop off and be major. So they had tweets out there like they called Action Bronson to the stage for like, yo, you said this shit about A$AP Rocky, and he was like, yo, my bad. Like, he stepped up and like just apologized, like, fuck it, my bad. Like, a lot of these dudes was broke and just looking at it like, man, I'm about to just hate. I'm about to just say some shit.
Wasn't there like some Kyle Kuzma, or no, it was Larry Nance Jr. Kobe tweets or something like that? Remember?
Yeah, he had the Kobe rape tweets.
Yeah, like.
But this just opens the door for my new business, though. I'm going to start scrubbing high school players' tweets.
That's what. Oh man, you can make a lot of money on that.
I'm dead ass. I'm launching it. Go find me today, and we gonna write it up.
I just what I love about this whole thing was Villanova's response to it. Did you guys see what they did?
Yeah, yo, look, they said that he was hacked that night, but like, yo, did they hack him in 2011? Like retroactively today?
His last
retroactive hacking.
This is
amazing.
This is how they messed up. His last
Right.
tweet was in 2016. His last tweet was 2016. There's no way it can be hacked.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. And I, you know what? I just always found the NCAA to be totally, you know, honest about everything. I'm just surprised that there's any sort of falsehoods or lying going on with a college basketball. It's very odd. And they said not only was it hacked, but quote, none of the statements attributed to Dante are his. And then later Dante said, no, they're mine.
Oh wait, I thought they were joking when they said he was hacked.
They thought they was joking too. They had to.
Was that really a serious response?
Villanova later retracted its statement, and De Vincenzo's account was deleted.
You know what? I wish that they said that they were hacked on a tweet that said that he was hacked. I wish they were like, no, somebody hacked this and said he was hacked. Like it's like an exception of hacks. Like come on with that. And you know what? That's
like, why can't they just say he was 14 and stupid? I think most people would have.
That's my thing, Searat, is like we were all stupid at 14, and I'd like to say that my IMs at that age were super professional, but I'm pretty sure they weren't. And
listen,
for those who don't know, IMs was a messaging service.
Yeah, bro. Listen,
Thank you, Zach.
I didn't even have a computer at 14. At 14, I was still playing. I was still doing wrestling moves in the front yard.
I still remember
playing
my AOL
JV basketball.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure 14. Yeah, Twitter would have been a good option.
But I'm not sure 20. I'm not sure Twitter is a good option for me at 36. Let alone.
LeBron James chimed in. He said, "Listen, that kid De Vincenzo, he was on fire, but he did it in an all-around way. First of all, he made himself a lot of money. That's the first thing I thought. Obviously, I'm not with the whole college thing, so I don't care about that. He made himself a lot of money last night, and not because of the way he was shooting, but because he was doing it all. Hey." I like this whole LeBron versus the NCAA thing. Big fan of that.
Yeah, burn it down.
Buying tickets to sports and concerts can be complicated and confusing, but there is a better way to buy with Seat Geek. Seat Geek is the smartest, easiest way to get tickets to every type of live event, people. Whether you are searching for a last-minute deal, planning a night out, or need to find the perfect gift, SeatGeek helps you find the best seats at the best prices, fully guaranteed. There's nothing quite like seeing your favorite team or musician in person, and SeatGeek will help you get you closer to the action for a great value. When you have 2 kids and 3 on the way, trust me, people, go out and see those concerts, theater, events, games, whatever, now, because it becomes very difficult when you have children. I have the SeatGeek app on my phone, and it is by far the easiest way I've found to shop for tickets. I could be anywhere, and with just a few taps can instantly find seats. I actually just use SeatGeek to buy tickets too. Well, I haven't bought them yet. Right now I'm looking for these Wizard of Oz tickets in Hartford coming, and they're at a certain price. I'm waiting for them to come down a little bit more. And one of the nice features on the app is you can kind of like put in your email, and when they come down a certain percentage, they will ping you. And so I'm just waiting for that to take the kids to the Wizard of Oz at the Bushnell in Hartford. Beautiful theater. SeatGeek is designed to make your ticket buying experience easier than ever. It saves you time and money by searching multiple ticket sites to compare prices and find amazing deals. To get you the most bang for your buck, it grades every ticket based on value to help you immediately identify the best seats that fit your budget. Every purchase is fully guaranteed. Make it your go-to app for finding the best deals on every type of ticket, sports, concerts, comedy, and theater. Best of all, back-to-back listeners, you get $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. Just download the app and enter the promo code B2B. That is the number 2 between 2 B's, B2B, for $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase.
So speaking of LeBron, Kawhi Leonard is going to be shopped. I don't know if that was a segue or not, but
perfect. It's perfect.
Yes. Speaking of LeBron, Brian Windhorst reporting. That was a better segue. Brian Windhorst reporting on ESPN yesterday that teams are going to be calling the Spurs regarding Kawhi Leonard's availability, which I guess is news because previously Brian said that wouldn't have been the case because they know he was going to be extended and he wouldn't be on the table at all. But Kawhi Leonard, the saga continues, and Brian's throwing some more reporting on top of this. What is the weirdest thing about this story to you guys? Is the Kawhi Leonard is now going back to New York to get more, I guess, help or rehab in New York City, where he's been rehabbing at the 11th hour of the playoffs. How does this play out?
I feel like he wanted his mistress in New York. It feels like a movie. I have no idea what he's doing right now. And I hate that we're even talking about this with the Spurs playing so well without him. You know, like, this is such, I mean, of course he's a major player in the game, but at this point, I feel like it's taken away from what Pop is doing.
Yeah, the Spurs. You would think that the Spurs would suffer. I mean, they actually LaMarcus Aldridge is not 100% healthy, and yet they're still doing this. Spurs are right now 4th in the West, 45-32, without a guy who is perennially an MVP candidate.
Yeah, and you know what's for me, the weirdest thing about this whole thing is that we're getting all of this news and like controversy from like the Spurs, because they've been the only organization that throughout the years we've never heard any stories. Like, you can assume that things happen, and you can assume that players might argue, they might have team-only meetings, player-only meetings and stuff like that. But now that we're seeing, like, oh, Tony Parker said something, oh, Ginobili said something, oh, now Pop is saying this, and oh, Kawhi's going back. That's the weirdest part for me, is the organization. It's not even the stories; it's just them.
All right, what if Pop is telling them to give everybody a spin and just give hot quotes?
Could be. It could be. Pop
at this point, can you really pressure them for? Can you really blame them for pressuring him to come back when it seems like he's been healthy for a while?
Right. That's the thing too that reminded me of the Derrick Rose shit, because like from years ago when Rose like got cleared by the doctors, everybody was like, "Oh, well, the doctor said you can play, just go play." And then like everybody around the league had a hot take on it. Like Bradley Beal said something, and everybody said something like, "Well, if a player on my team, was healthy and he didn't play, this would be this." And the Bulls are just like, whatever, we'll wait. But like now, everybody, I'm glad that everybody now is looking at Kawhi like, look, you trust your body, because for me, I feel like, look, I don't care what the doctors say. If the doctors tell you can come back tomorrow and you don't feel like coming back, don't come back, because the last thing you want to happen is you come back, hurt yourself on a non-contact play, and then everybody's looking like, well, why didn't you just sit out? Everybody using hindsight now, so
And again, if you're Kawhi, like, what are you coming back to get blitzed by the Warriors and Rockets? Like, what is it? Like,
well, but I don't think they're going to think like that, right? Like, I think the Spurs believe if we have a healthy Kawhi and we have a healthy LaMarcus, we were up on the Warriors in Game 1 last year, right? Like, whether that's correct or not, like, I don't like they're not going to think of it the way we think of it. We think, you're just going to come back and get blitzed by the Rockets and Warriors. They're going to come back thinking, I'm going to win a championship.
We have a chance.
And by the way, Kawhi is the best player on a team like that, should be thinking like that too.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, I understand his health concerns, and there's something to be said about giving a guy some room, giving him some having some patience and whatnot. But at the same time, if he's healthy, he signed a contract. I understand that there's another one coming up, but he signed a really big contract. He should probably at least be with the team right now, communicating with them at the least, and it seems like he's not even doing that. And is that? I think in any other job, that's a breach of your contract.
I think we're making an assumption, though. At the end of the day, we're only getting partially what we think. I really don't think that he's away from the team or not giving them actual contact or in communication with them. I think it's just
he's
that
literally away from the team right now.
Well, I mean, definitely when you have to go see the doctor or you're going to get like a procedure or just a follow-up, he's away from the team. But I mean, that doesn't mean that the communication is cut.
So what about the his group stuff? Because I saw a lot of people retweeting that with Toss, right? Like a lot of people tweeting that like it was.
There wouldn't be
including myself. I was pretty much just trolling the scenario of the Phil Jackson scenario back in a few years back with LeBron and his camp. Guys move with a group, and obviously this is a pivotal time, like a great time for him to negotiate and make a lot of money in his career. along with his personal brand. So they're trying to do everything strategically right, including making what's the best move for Kawhi. So,
which is a new thing for the Spurs, right? Like they don't have like Tim Duncan wasn't on the cover of everything. Tim Duncan wasn't on every ad campaign, wasn't the face of like a shoe brand. So this is kind of new territory for the Spurs to have this guy who's at as you said, a pivotal point in his career off the court.
What's different? What's different, Tom?
Let's take that back. Tim Duncan was the face of a sneaker brand. He was with Adidas, but he shared his campaign with Kevin Garnett at the time. Yeah, it was
like 2003, right?
Yeah, but at the time, sneaker business was not as, it was just Michael Jordan and then the rest of the NBA. Now it's guys like Kawhi has a chance to be the second highest Jordan brand signature athlete, and also get the Supermax from the Spurs. I'm not sure how the numbers work with the other teams that's pursuing him, if he can get those similar numbers, but it's a lot less, you know what I mean? So realistically, if he could return for the playoffs, that would be amazing. But if not, he's like Mariano said, we don't know what's going on with his body. As fans, we love him, we miss him. But realistically, Kawhi knows what's best for him.
Yeah, and to kind of go back to what Seerat said a little bit, if Kawhi, if we're to believe that Kawhi has secretly been in contact with the team and they're just doing this, the reason why I don't kind of believe that is because if he was in contact, I don't think we would be hearing anything. Everybody would be kind of hush about it. I think because he's not saying anything, if you want to go with the theory that Trey said that Pop is telling people to kind of spin it, it's because he's not getting any information from Kawhi. So it's like, okay, well, if we're going to say anything, let's make it look like we're doing our part. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not getting anything from him. So let's make it look like we're doing our due diligence and we're calling these meetings and we're kind of calling them out about this shit. Because I don't think Kawhi's giving them anything. I think Kawhi's giving them the bare minimum. Yeah,
I just think what's different? It used to be Tim Duncan as the big man leader, right? And now it's LaMarcus Aldridge. This is some LaMarcus Aldridge shit. He has infected Kawhi.
I'm with that, Zach. You know what? I hadn't thought about that, but I'm 100% with that.
He is a bad influence on Kawhi Leonard.
We have a Nate Robb-Bomb, guys. Nate Robb-Bomb on his podcast, Hold At, an SI podcast with Carlos Boozer.
I don't understand any of the words you just said.
I do.
Sports Illustrated podcast featuring Carlos Boozer.
Man, I'm triggered. I'm triggered by saying about Carlos Boozer. Oh man.
Does Nate Robb offset that? No. Okay. So quote from Nate Robinson, from what I heard from a little birdie, what I heard that the reason why not that he doesn't want to play, is that he doesn't want to be in San Antonio no more, is because that I heard, this is the quote, is because that I heard a big bag was coming. But if he doesn't leave San Antonio, that bag is not coming. End quote from Nate Robinson.
I heard it. Big bag coming.
Welcome to the pod, Maze.
He's back.
Have you thought you were podcasting with us the last 3 days? Or
yeah, I just been on Skype walking around the desert. You guys have been really quiet.
Yeah, that sounded so legitimate. Anyway, big bags.
I don't buy this. I don't buy this.
But Nate doesn't even know what he's talking about. You're not getting a bigger bag from another team.
Literally, the biggest bag he could get is staying there.
It's right put.
Well, what if the bag is coming from a shoe company?
That's what I'm asking.
No,
that's not how it works anymore.
But no, that's not it. Nobody's offering him anything else.
He doesn't need to be in New York or LA to get the big bag from a shoe company. That's just not how it works.
Oh, I understand. Nobody wants to speculate about his health, but I think it's incredibly naive to be thinking that that's the only thing that it could be. I think it's fair to go into the other realm and say, hey, we've heard about the Jordan Brand deal. It's not really, he's not happy with that either. It seems like he wants things that San Antonio is not giving him, and he wants to also preserve his chance to get a Supermax while his health is up in the air. There's something everything points to being a little bit more shady than he doesn't feel like his body is right.
I just can't wait till the truth rolls out. And it's going to be so simple. It's going to be all this other stuff that we're just talking about.
It's just going to be
it's going to be as simple as
it's going to be the simple. You know what it's going to be? It's going to be the person. It's going to be the person that used to braid his hair moved, and he can't find now he's damn.
No, this is going to be the news that breaks. Kawhi Leonard re-signs for 5-year Supermax with San Antonio Spurs. That's all it's going to be.
That's all it's going to be.
It's all it's going to be. And it's going to be all this hand-wringing for nothing.
Oh, but if Kawhi doesn't come back, if you're the Spurs, can you really give him a Supermax? You give a guy that's missed a year, 5 years, a 5-year deal?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's Kawhi Leonard because he's Kawhi Leonard because he's the third best player in the league.
He's 25. He's a
you already
two-time
know that's
defensive
going to
player
come
of
back
the
and
year.
bite you then. If you had a guy that doesn't play for a year, a Supermax.
He played 9 games.
But do you know the seriousness of this injury? Who else had this injury? Martell Webster and who else? That's not good company, by the way. It was somebody. No, because it really, like they didn't pan out after that. After that, they were like out the league.
Yeah, but that was also like 10 years ago. Like the technology and the medical science and everything. It's different. Because I mean, like
what
Chris
is it?
Webber,
A quad?
Chris Webber blew out his knee in 2004, right? 2003. And it effectively ended his career. Like he played for a few more years, but it effectively ended his career. You blow out your knee now, they're like, okay, get back in 9 months. You're good.
Right.
Well, Zach, if you had read Tom or me, you'd know that players are actually getting hurt way more than they used to be.
Yeah, but it's not a bit like it's the same in baseball. Baseball, Tommy John surgery used to be a killer. Now it makes you throw harder.
I just want to segue.
Damn, I might have to go get. I might go get Tommy John surgery today. Then, dude. Like, what you talking?
I don't know that it affects alleged delivery.
I mean, it's pitching.
I mean, I've never
pitching.
tore my quad, so I can't really speak on that.
This isn't the first time he's had a quad issue, by the way, and he's coming back from the ankle issue. So it's 2 things and 3 things. His hairstylist apparently is out of town.
Yeah, man. Him guys, got something in common now, man.
Guys, we have breaking news. Go. Nerlens Noel and Thabo Sefolosha have both been suspended 5 games by the NBA for violating the anti-drug program.
Snap.
Tom Strani of Yahoo Sports.
Make weed legal.
Were they together, or was it like
That's a great question.
they both got caught?
Great question.
I want to. You know what? I imagine them in like one of those meetings like Shaq and Kobe had, and they're just like in a session, just passing blunts back and forth, and they recorded it on accident. I like that. I like that story.
I wonder if.
What drug was it?
I don't know. He didn't say.
I mean,
when was the last time Dallas and Utah played each other?
Isn't that like a 4th or 5th violation of it? What's the process? It's like, or maybe 3 violations before you get suspended.
Yeah, come on, Rich Paul.
The last time
Protect
they
your
played
guy.
was March 22nd.
Said protect him. Rich Paul forgot he even represented him, probably. To be honest, he blew that bag. And
Wait, is it Thabo out for the year?
I don't know if he's out for the year, but he's been hurt a while.
I mean, it depends if they're going to the title.
If it was really weed,
I don't know why I went Oprah there.
His last name is Noel. That would be
third
the most
violation for marijuana results in a 5-game suspension.
All right, so that would be the most ironic thing because his last name is Noel and it's a blunt in the situation, so it's pretty ironic.
You know what it sounds like, Mariano? It sounds like Nerlens lots of L's.
You feel me?
L's.
Yeah. No, you know what it is? Nerlens roll L's.
There it is.
Wow.
Here's what I think happened: is I think someone told Rich Paul like, "Hey, Nerlens got busted for weed," and he's like, "Merlin who?"
New Orleans. What are you talking about?
New Orleans got busted for weed. Of course, they got weed in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Sefolosha had right knee surgery on January 17th, and he's expected to miss the rest of the season to repair an avulsion of his MCL.
Oh,
yo, I'm not going to lie.
He was trying to hit the tree to see, recovery.
After
what Tom?
He's been through, he hit the pavement in New York, be kind of hard. They gotta let him get that off. Like after what he's been through, he deserved it. Come on, don't touch him.
Tom, I checked that he is out for the year. So just so you know.
Sefolosha's suspension will begin with the next NBA regular season or playoff game for which he is eligible and physically able to play. Breaking news, Thabo Sefolosha is eligible to play. He's been medically cleared. Wow.
How about that?
Medical miracle. Zach was right when he was talking about how far we've come as far as medical advancements.
Man, it's true.
It's amazing. It's unbelievable.
Break your arm today, it's healed tomorrow. You just have to go with Maze to the desert. You won't feel a thing.
That's it.
See some shit though.
Speaking of guys who haven't been healthy, Hassan Whiteside didn't play in the final 21 minutes on Saturday's game and did not like that fact and said, quote, a lot of teams don't have a good center. They are going to use their strengths. It's bullshit. It's really bullshit, man. There are a lot of teams that could use a center. Hassan Whiteside, everybody.
Yeah.
So,
I don't hate him for having this attitude. I understand it. I also think Eric Spoelstra is correct in any decision he makes with Hassan Whiteside.
Yeah. So here's the thing about Hassan Whiteside is they've been peeling back. Yeah, probably. Although someone retweeted a Roto World story about Isaiah Thomas and Hassan Whiteside going to the Lakers, but it was a story from 2016. Anyway, Hassan Whiteside used to play like starting minutes, 33 minutes a game. This year it's dialed back all the way down to 25. He might as well be their like big man off the bench. And I don't know how healthy he is. He says he has a hip flexor. He has a hip injury. I think the Heat think he's out of shape, just plain old. If you look at Eric Spoelstra's comments right now, it's all about him getting back into shape. And I think that's the big thing with Hassan Whiteside is he up to the conditioning levels that the Miami Heat have for him? And the Heat are really demanding. The Heat have been very demanding for every player. You look at James Johnson and Dion Waiters and all those guys who came to them and lost 20 pounds. Hassan Whiteside, according to Spo, is not in shape. And that's a big reason why he hasn't been playing more minutes. If you ask Hassan Whiteside, well, if you played me more minutes, maybe I'd get back into shape. But I don't think this was a good leverage play for Hassan Whiteside because I think everyone knows his deal. It's not like he needs to be like, hey, guys, did you know that there's a lot of center vacancies out there and I can play? I don't think this was a great move for him because I think the rap on him is hard to deal with. Maturity issues. And I think this is another example of that where Hassan Whiteside probably just needs to, I don't know, do what his coach tells him behind the scenes and then things will work out.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have great moves anyway. So this being like not another great move for him, like is pretty on brand. So I believe it.
I remember I go back to when I was in Miami and it was Hassan Whiteside's like breakout year. Like they had signed him from the D League and you know, he finally like burst on the scene. He was racking up double doubles left and right, he's blocking shots. And every time he had a press scrum at his locker after a game, his locker was next to Chris Bosh's. And I would just, as Hassan talked, I would watch Chris Bosh react to it. And Chris Bosh always had the funniest reactions because he was just like, this guy is stupid. This guy says the word like the dumbest thing. And this just, you know, what is this? This is 4 years later. 4 years later, three and a half years later, it's still the same shit.
But congrats on that contract, though. $100 million.
Hey, get paid. Everyone, you can get paid. Do it.
Listen, man, the top two things in Hassan Whiteside's career up to this point for me is hanging out with DJ Khaled on Snapchat and him saying he's trying to get his 2K rating up. Other than that, I got nothing for you. I'm not a fan.
Yeah. I mean, it spoke volumes when the Heat drafted Bam. You know,
Right.
Like they give him $100 million contract, and then a year later they're looking for another guy. Like they signed Kelly Olynyk and drafted Bam Adebayo.
You guys are, by the way, playing a lot better for them than he is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he works hard defensively. He actually works hard.
And Hassan Whiteside always has this demeanor like he already won like 3 championships, and he's just like you should be lucky that he's there. Like his demeanor is just kind of like, dog, like you still have shit to prove. Like, okay, yeah, you're good at basketball, cool, but like then what? You can't just sit back like you already, you know, like it's already done now. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's not like he doesn't get his chances. He gets in the fourth quarter of close games every so often, and it's also very well documented because everybody knows it's such a fragile situation. Like every single possession for him is important when he gets in there, and it's not like he plays with this extra focus or anything like that. He misses rotations like a lot more than Bam does, which is saying a lot.
Yeah, like you're being set for a reason. You're being set for a reason, bro. Like it's not like there's a conspiracy out there to get you, you know, whatever. Like come on.
I think at the end of the day, the Heat would rather be able to use a guy like him.
Right.
I think Spo understands matchups. He understands that that'd be useful, but you know, it's like he makes his utility so sparse because he does so much other stuff on the court that isn't useful.
Yeah. Joel Anthony was on the bench for a reason. Like, just let's remember that. He was on the bench for a real reason. So,
Hassan Whiteside, though, has doubled his career rate of assists this season up to 1.4 per 36 minutes.
Oh, man.
That actually is kind of shocking. that it's that high.
1.4 out of 36, doubling his career rate of 0.7.
Hey.
That's an improvement.
Damn, Hassan.
Yo, Jay, what's going on, man?
Chilling, dude. I am chilling. Why is in Uber pool? I love it.
That was 30 minutes ago we talked about that.
Yeah.
No,
This will
Uber pool, man. When you do Uber pool, that should take you to every hood in LA. That shit is not fun. You be thinking you're gonna get in and meet some beautiful women or something.
No.
It's an uncomfortable state.
no. Pay the extra $1. Pay the extra $80.
you should have called us.
That's it. You
Compton
know what it like?
Cowboys, you know?
It feels like you about to be on Taxi Cab Confessions.
Get rid of the Uber Cowboy.
Hey, listen. If
good.
somebody start picking somebody up on horses, I'm out. So I was at May's house yesterday, and this morning I was trying to catch the lift, and they have now a feature where you actually can shorten your trip. I mean, to make your trip cheaper, you have to walk.
Really?
And I was like,
Damn.
why would somebody want to do this? Like,
Man, if I wanted,
you
if I
go to
wanted
meet up with like a bus line, right?
yeah, you meet up with a bus
It's like a
line
hot
and then
spot.
you get picked up. It's a hot spot.
Yo,
where you
I
pick
did
up.
that the other day. Getting an Uber from the arena, but like there was they blocked traffic off. And so I walked like 2 blocks to get to the Uber to cut him off to be like, yo, instead of meeting me here, I'm going to meet you way out there where you can actually pick me up. The dude just drove right by me and made me walk all the way around the arena again. I was trying to be a good dude.
Did you have your do-rag on?
Did not.
Oh.
Did not, but it was so upsetting. It was like, I'm going to do you a favor by walking all the way out here. And then he just blew by me. And I was like a madman, like throwing my hands up right next to him. And he just went right by.
That shit like on Grand Theft Auto when you get the taxi and you picking up fares, like dudes run around like this little table outside for like 10 times and then they finally get in the car.
Yes.
Yeah, real life Grand Theft Auto.
I'm old enough to remember Grand Theft Auto on a PC.
With the top view. Yeah, nah.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
I remember that.
That game, listen, that game was crazy. That shit looked like Contra a little bit. Like if you had like the automatic, you could just spin around in a circle and just like fucking kill like 1,000 people.
That's funny.
I remember how like revolutionary Vice City was as a game.
Yeah.
And it was, obviously just ripping off Scarface for a lot of it. But I remember how like revolutionary that was. I don't want to say like a year ago. I bought it on the PS4 for like, it was like $6 or something like that. And it's the same game. It's a little remaster, but it's the same game, same graphics, everything. It looks like a bunch of wax figures halfway melted. Walking around.
Yeah,
Like, it's so
it's pretty
crazy.
blocky.
Yeah, it's real blocky.
There's a game.
I played. Go ahead, Mari.
Nah, look. So there's a game that was on the first PlayStation called Siphon Filter. It's like a shooting game. That's a classic game. So the way that I remembered it was like the graphics looked way better. I went back and looked at it. That shit looked like claymation. Like I just didn't understand.
Yeah. So GTA 6 is going to be themed with Vice City again.
I'm here for it.
I respect
If
that.
you want to get back into video games, it's gonna be pretty good.
What's the most timeless video game?
Timeless, like Street Fighter 2, NBA Jam, or
Mario Kart.
Yeah, Mario Kart.
Legend of Zelda.
Timeless.
Oh,
No,
Maze kicked my
no.
ass in Mario Kart.
Mario
Jesus
Kart,
Christ.
number one.
Maybe Mario. Yeah, maybe.
Number one.
You know what's the most underappreciated arcade game ever? And I liked
Simpsons?
it. I actually liked it more than Space Jam, or not Space Jam. NBA Jam is Running Gun. Do you remember Running Gun?
Running
It was like
Gun
it
was
was
fire.
like 5-on-5, and it had this like behind the backboard view, and you could throw alley oops and everything. Like it was a fucking great game.
There was a game on Dreamcast called Power Stone. It was an incredible game. Like, oh my god, I might get a Dreamcast just to play that again.
Oh yeah, Power Stone was amazing.
Power Stone was
The
fire.
original 2K was fire.
Yeah, when you had to use the back trip.
Shenmue.
to-
Shout out to
yeah.
Shenmue.
I was a big Crazy Taxi head.
Yeah,
Crazy Taxi was fire. They actually got Crazy Taxi Mobile.
Zach, man. Yo, listen, that's like one of my favorite parts of the Snark Who's Pies when you start talking like that. Like that's the funniest shit ever, dog.
Hey,
Seerat,
I just
do you
got a
have
text.
video games in Canada?
Jesus. Oh, that's
It's
the
oddly quiet over there.
That's the robot.
That's funny.
Seerat?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Oh boy, not a big fan of Mike.
Johnny, shout to Johnny
You know what's funny? You know what's funny?
Hold on,
Tell,
Seerat.
How do we get T-Pain on the pod?
you asked about video games, and she's in one. She's in one right now.
The Wisconsin.
Hold on a second.
Seerat, you got to turn off your PS2 and then turn it back on to reconnect to the internet.
Hey Trey,
What's up?
when you put out your tweet last night about the MVP awards, the season awards, did you want predictions or opinions?
I wanted predictions from people.
Okay, so what was the biggest prediction surprise that you had when you put that out? Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie, Coach of the Year. What were the responses?
Mostly everybody agreed with mine. The most difficult was Coach of the Year because everybody felt that their coach of their fan base deserved to be. Like I seen Stotts, I seen McMillan, I seen Dwayne Casey, I seen Brad Stevens, I seen D'Antoni. I went with Casey as because
he's gonna win.
I felt like the Raptors deserve it. Surprisingly, I mean, no one had them outside of Canada being a 1 seed, so they definitely lived up to their expectations.
Not to throw some water on what they're doing.
Throw the water
because they're great. Are they the 1 seed because they're that good, or are they the 1 seed because the Cavs haven't been?
I think they're the 1 seed because
I think Zach makes a good point.
I mean,
I think because the Cavs haven't been, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's still they're great. Like what, 55, 56 wins, something like that. They'll finish close to 60. Great regular season, but their 1 seed is about the Cavs, not about them.
Timmy Bontemps came on Thursday and said it's an open and shut case. No one is close to unseating Dwayne Casey for Coach of the Year.
Wouldn't it just be a shut case then? Why is it? Why would you open it and then shut it?
I feel like now, the Coach of the Year award is starting to lean towards like the coach that you didn't expect to be this good. Because it's like, and the reason why I say that is because if you want to say who's the best coach in the league, you could literally give this award to Pop every single year, and it just wouldn't be close. And then now you can probably give it to
someone said, Brett Brown, he finally got the coach this year, and look at it. And I'm
that's what I'm saying. It's like it's damn near. You know what? Coach of the Year is starting to be like most improved player. Like for me, that's what
it reminds me of the Bart Simpson gift. It reminds me of the Bart Simpson gift. At least you tried.
Yeah, because
you give him the cake and you just throw it in the trash.
You know what the Coach of the Year? The Coach of the Year award is usually the My Bad award. It's the My Bad award.
It's this good.
You know,
the media is apologizing for writing them off, and then they say My Bad.
And it's like I should have been watching y'all all this time. I didn't watch y'all before. I didn't know you could coach. It's like that.
And that works with Casey because obviously they've been great, but it works with Casey too because it's been a lot of they're stumbling in the playoffs. I wonder if he should be replaced.
Right.
Maybe it's a Dwayne Casey problem, and then they come out this good, and it's like my bad. We you changed some things up. You guys are great. Number 1 seed, you get it. I had in the thing for FanRag, I had 8 candidates eligible for Coach of the Year, like legitimately worthy of it. I had it going to Dwayne Casey, and then you have McMillan because my bad. When no one knew the Pacers were going to be good, right? Quinn Snyder, he's been legitimately great. I think Brett Brown has been a very good coach. Popovich probably should win it, considering one of the best players in the league has played 9 games for him this year, and they're still going to be maybe the 4th seed. Right. D'Antoni, Stotts, and obviously Brad Stevens. And however it shakes out with those 8 guys in the voting, I think is fine.
Yeah.
I think it's Brad Stevens for me. I think Dwayne Casey's going to win it, but it's just weird. It's weird to give it to Dwayne Casey. 2 years ago, they won 56 games. They won 51 last year, and then now we're going to give him Coach of the Year.
It is different. I mean, he has turned to where he legitimately cultivated the best bench in the league, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that is coaching. He changed their style. he cultivated the best bench in the league. He got DeMar DeRozan to be, not that DeMar DeRozan was like a black hole by any means, but he's averaging 5 assists a game. Like he's gotten to be more of a playmaker. Like there's some significant changes in there that matter. I don't know that you can just go off of, hey, they won 56 2 years ago. I mean, that was 2 years ago, right? Like it's a different league now than it was 2 years ago in a lot of ways.
Totally. I just don't think it's a shut case like some people do. Yeah, I think Brad Stevens has had far less available to him.
Don't open the case though, Tom. Don't open it. Just keep it shut.
Yeah. No, I definitely don't think it's just a runaway case for him because it's like, I mean, just for Coach of the Year, period. Because I think every other category, if you look at like MVP, I think we probably all agree it's Harden. Rookie of the Year, you might go back and forth between Donovan Mitchell and Ben Simmons.
So Mari, before you jump into that, we're gonna do a agree or disagree, and I'm gonna throw out my candidates, and then you guys can throw out whoever the people I chose. Okay. So for MVP, I chose James Harden. Agree or disagree?
I agree.
Agree.
I think the real discussion is who's gonna be the first runner-up.
LeBron.
I have Anthony Davis.
Monte Ellis.
Anthony Davis playing in the playoffs.
All right. Next award, Rookie of the Year. I had Ben Simmons.
Disagree.
Agree.
I agree, but I'll probably disagree tomorrow.
The only reason I say disagree is because like Donovan Mitchell is a true rookie, and he's like literally the leader.
I mean,
like,
I wish
like the leader of the team.
I wish we really could award that off of that because I mean I trolled the other day, saying after Mitchell made the 3-pointer and the Simmons hive came for me. But realistically, we have to still consider Ben Simmons a rookie. They're on what?
This is no disrespect.
They're on a 10-game winning streak. Right?
He's incredible. They've sold up a playoff spot. He's been incredible all year. And I'm not mad at anybody who would say that Ben Simmons would be the Rookie of the Year. Just my pick. If I had a vote, it'd be for Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah. If I agree with both Mari and Trey.
Yeah,
I think they're both Rookie of the Year. Like whoever wins it out of those two, I have zero.
Yeah, I would not be mad at all. That's basically where I'm going with it. I wouldn't be mad if Ben Simmons won it. I would not have any problems with it.
I flip every day on the two of them.
I don't think anybody on the panel would actually disagree of those two candidates. No one else kind of creeps in. Most improved player, Victor Oladipo.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree. I also think Julius Randle should finish second.
I like that. I like Randle.
Yeah, that's good.
Because the thing is, Laker fans beat him up early in the year, and then now they love him.
He hasn't been like he wasn't very good until this year. Like he showed flashes here and there, but like this year he became legitimately good.
You know what's funny about Julius Randle too? He looks like a corrupt agent in like a old Temptations movie or something, like a corrupt manager or something.
Yep,
that's funny.
I don't think he gets enough credit for that, but yeah,
not enough credit. That should be number 1 on his bio.
All right, 6th man of the year, Lou Williams.
Disagree. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, like the only other person you can go with is Eric Gordon, and he's been better than Eric Gordon.
Yeah.
That is a shut.
That's a shut and shut case.
I seen someone say Rozier and Bobby Portis.
Eric Gordon looked like Eric Gordon looked like Mayor McCheese, man. I'm not voting for him. Lou Will. Give me Lou Will.
Lou Will. Okay. The next one.
Lou Will's averaging 33 minutes a game.
Damn near.
I feel like we need to.
Is he playing for Tibbs?
The 6-man award.
Is he playing for Tibbs?
That's funny.
Does he check in 2 minutes into the first quarter?
I feel like that's what's going on.
Sometimes, yeah.
Pretty much.
Right.
And then last but not least, Defensive Player of the Year, I said Rudy Gobert.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
I mean, it's tough because of the games, but no one else has stepped up.
I seen KD and I seen Draymond Green.
I mean,
but everybody always wants.
It's either Gobert or
Embiid. I seen Embiid too.
I just like Gobert because so when I was younger, like these stats obviously wasn't like around, like where you could see, back in the day, say that he does stuff that doesn't show up on the stat sheet, like Ben Wallace, right? Like he'll make a guy reconsider it going into the lane. I see Rudy Gobert do that a lot of times, like every single night. Like every time I see him play, I see the whole offense change because Gobert's out there. So obviously
his timing is crazy. His timing is so deep.
Yeah, I definitely Gobert.
One thing I had trouble putting together was first team, second team, and third team. I'm scared to touch that.
Yeah.
Because it's so many guys playing at a high level right now.
I only really want to touch first team right now on this particular pod.
Yo, look, Trey, before we get to that, I want to ask who's your pick for like the guy who you irrationally stand for this year? Like, what guy would you say? You know what I mean? Like number one on the list of guys who you probably should not be rooting for, just like basketball wise, but like you love to watch him play.
Oh,
not.
I know the answer.
Who?
LeBron James.
Yeah, for me, yeah, LeBron. For me, LeBron.
No one really talks about him.
I really thought Smith was coming.
He's under the radar,
For me, because as much as I groan about year 15, he's just amazing, man. I groan about it and be like, yeah, year 15. Dwight's playing in year 14. You know, I troll it a lot, but like he's playing exceptionally well.
I want to ask if y'all can guess which player. Like this is a legit player who's like in the NBA on the roster. I want to know if y'all can guess which player that I would call the GOAT right now. And like I probably shouldn't.
Trey Burke.
Absolutely.
That was
42 in my city here.
And if it wasn't Trey Burke, it was going to be Karis LeVert.
Yeah, easy. Or Tim Hardaway.
I'll ride with Karis LeVert way before Trey Burke. I don't care. He's 42
what about Big Dog Jr.?
Trey Burke is garbage.
If you Zach, you just went to bat for Hurricane Heights recently. You gotta go on, man.
I watched Hurricane Heights 1,000 times before I watched Trey Burke take another jump.
That's crazy.
Broke ass jumper. Come on.
Trey Burke is the greatest point guard in Knicks history. Fighting any Knicks fan that wants to fight.
Damn.
Fighting.
I'd take Dennis Cantor on the point guard. Took Trey.
I take Jeremy Lin's 2 weeks over Trey Burke's week.
I'd take the last week of Jeremy Lin this year.
So listen. So answer these two questions. Answer these two questions. What other Knicks point guard had braids like this, and what other Knicks point guard went to Michigan? Just answer those two questions. If you can't answer them, it needs to go.
Jamal Crawford?
No, in the point guard.
Jamal Crawford didn't have
point guard.
He didn't have but Jamal Crawford was a point guard.
He didn't.
At that time.
He had braids.
He didn't have braids though. He couldn't even grow facial hair.
All right, well, just settle.
He's a vampire.
It's settled.
All right, so now we're on first team. Tom, I want to hear your first team NBA.
I don't do these. I can't stand the first team, second team, third team.
I knew it. You're like me because I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't like it. Yeah,
I don't like touching it because I'd be like, yo, it's kind of taken away from great players, and I think the NBA is so positionless to like narrow down a 5. It's just hard.
Especially at the position.
Change it to who are the top 15 this year. Just change it to that. Right?
Yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah, I'm
top
with that.
15. Okay.
Because when you have to pick positions, it's like you're gonna have to exclude somebody, and it's gonna sound disrespectful. And it's like I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just trying to abide by the rules of the actual. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hate the positions of it. It's weird. It's arbitrary, and being on first team sounds so much better than being on second team when the margins are like not. Like if there are 3 really great guards. Why should we pick 2 versus 3? It's
what's crazy too, like to that point is being named All NBA third team is a hell of an honor. Like you were one of the 11 to 15 best players in the world this year.
Yeah,
like that's incredible. And still, if someone gets 13, people are like, man, that's so disrespectful.
You know what? I would have a better time. You know what? I think I would have an easier time voting if they had first team for each position. Like if they have first team guards, I think I would have an easier time voting for that. Because it's just too many good guards in the league for me to just vote for.
First team, here's the 5 guards, right?
Yeah, like these are the 5 guards who are the top 5, and you can't even debate that. And then like if you're because if you're top 15, that's not disrespectful to say you're top 15.
But like with health being a factor, with Chris Paul missing time earlier, with Steph missing time earlier, Russ is playing good, but Thunder are struggling.
Hey, Russ is within shouting distance of a triple-double again this year.
He is.
Yes. But do we give Damian Lillard that first team nod?
I think I would go DeRozan over Lillard just because DeRozan has been more consistent throughout the year. Dame has been a monster for the last 2 months.
So are we going to go 2 combos over?
Trey, this is what I'm gonna do. If we're talking Damian's, I'm gonna give Damian Lillard that spot over anybody else. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but
it's an honor just to be nominated.
Oh,
yeah, you know.
No auto-tune.
Yeah, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
So you said DeMar DeRozan.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not doing positions, right?
Well, for first team?
Hey, guard, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Wouldn't it be a point guard?
Oh, it's guard.
Or is this
guard?
I think it's just guard.
Yeah, it's guard.
So then who would
you-
follow
yeah,
up? Who would
so
follow
that-
up to be the next guard?
Lillard would be third for me.
He would be third team?
Yeah, I'm not.
No. I'm
Third
saying
guard.
The third guard.
Third guard, yeah.
Okay. And then forwards, we would have LeBron over KD.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we would have
Giannis
Antetokounmpo.
Are we counting Anthony Davis as a forward or a center?
Probably a forward.
The center.
Davis is going to sneak into center because Boogie's been out long enough.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, I'm
right,
gonna say
right.
Davis.
Okay, yeah,
I'm gonna say Davis at the 5.
Okay.
But does KD crack that lineup?
And just because it gets too hard, then.
I think KD's been better than Giannis.
Yeah.
9 fewer games though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's enough. That's enough for give the nod to Giannis.
Okay.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
All right, so we got our first team out the way.
I do it like Kobe. Do it like Kobe did.
Nah, you talk like Kobe, but Giannis, the game of basketball, and Kobe and Mamba. That's Kobe.
Someone called Giannis Antetokounmpo a 6'10" Russell Westbrook, and I don't know if that was like.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any facial hair. I mean, he can't be Russ. Come on, grow a mustache.
He doesn't dunk like the rim hurt his mom. So.
What did you guys?
Yeah, that's a bad comparison.
Before the KD ejection, you guys see Giannis's aggression?
Oh my God, man! He bodied KD so crazy on that dunk. Oh my, that was the most weight room move I've seen in years. Like, get your ass in the weight room, boy.
I liked it because I said, okay, this is what potentially Giannis could be. He didn't back down. He had a strong play there, and then he says, "I got him on the other end," and defends KD in the post. But was kind of fronting him before, and KD got tossed like 2 plays later. But I wanted to see that. And then Giannis ended up matching up with the next best available player, who was Draymond. But I like the initiative that he was guarding the best players on the floor.
Yeah.
That's big time for the Milwaukee Bucks if he can move in that direction.
I'm a big KD fan, but I think that I got a theory about this, that he got tossed out on purpose because he was like, nah, I don't think I'm ready for this shit tonight. Like, he ain't about to embarrass me out there.
Hey, man.
He did say some stuff that kind of guaranteed it, so that definitely corroborates your theory.
Yeah, I also think like he looked out there and was like, "Ooh, I don't have my regular guys out here tonight. I gotta get over." I was like, "No, I'll take a shower early."
Oh shit! Somebody probably looked at him from the bench like, "Yo, we can't find your brush." Oh shit! I gotta go.
So I got a chance to catch the Warriors live on Easter, and the seats were pretty damn good. I got to sit next to the assistant GMs and them, right? And the funniest commentary was Lacob just kind of like bitching. They're up like 17 points, and KD's on the bench, and Quinn Cook is playing great. Like, he's making the shots, he's sharing the ball, but he's complaining about Marquise Crease having 20 points, right? He's like, Crease has 20.
Yo, he's the sneakiest scorer in the NBA to me, dog. Like,
it was all off putbacks and lobs, right?
He's so sneaky, man.
And
is it because you think he can't play, and then all of a sudden he ends up with 18 points?
Nah, you know what it is? It's because I think Marquise Chris is like one of the most athletic guys like in the league right now. It's just that I don't see him use it. Like, I don't see him on highlight reels like I see Giannis or Embiid or Ben Simmons or something like that. So when I see his stat line, and I'm like, he had 22. Like, how? When did he get? Who let him get 22?
I was really high on him coming out of the draft, and then I found out some things that like he might not be the sharpest guy.
Yeah,
you see that every night with the Suns.
So he might not be Marquise.
But
Chris,
he makes a comment. He makes a comment. Josh Jackson takes a curling 3 that just like hits the backboard hard. Like, it was nowhere near the rim, and he's like, "See, that's why they're in the position they are in." And I was like, "Oh shit!"
But you said Josh Jackson did that?
Yeah, but but he's been playing good as of late too. But I just don't know what's his percentage wise on shooting right now.
Who, Josh Jackson?
Yeah.
He is at.
I'm gonna guess before you say it. 42.
Yeah. From the field or 3?
From the field.
From the field.
42 exactly.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
crazy.
shit.
But yeah, like, I mean, in general, he took a lot of, he's really he's kind of hard to watch. Yeah. I can tell, like, because he just wants to, like, he's just volume shooting at that point.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even to make it.
Guess his 3-point percentage this year.
3-point percentage, 29. Yeah, 29.
26.1%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
like he shouldn't even be taking that shot.
Yeah, the thing about Josh is that Josh is really good just at basketball, period. I just think the way he's being used right now and the way like he's being rolled out there, because that team is like legit tanking, whether they're trying to or not, they're just tanking.
15 straight L's.
Right? Yeah, so I think that Josh, once, like next year, I think we'll see Josh start to focus in on what he does best. Like this offseason, he'll work around on what he does best, like instead of trying to do everything. Because he should not be shooting the three unless he's wide open, like unless he's the only person in the gym.
Yo, so on catch and shoot threes, he's 28%, which is unfathomably low. He's 16% on pull up threes.
Yeah.
Here's
why is he ever pulling up?
Yeah, here his splits.
He should be pulling up his pants, man.
He should be sparked. No pull-ups.
So with tight coverage from the closest defender, he's 14% on threes. Open coverage, which is 4 to 6 feet of room, 24%. Wide open
Triano's
threes.
not checking that?
Wide open threes, 6+ feet of room between him and the closest defender. 28%. This dude can't hit shit.
That's exponential growth.
He should not be taking these threes, man. Like Josh is an athletic guy who can be one of the best defenders if he put his mind to it. He could rebound. He could affect the game in so many other ways. You just have to stop trying to do everything.
Yeah,
but they want to lose.
That's pretty crazy though.
You can't think about it. Like,
wait till Trae Young get there. Trae Young will be there next year. He'll be there.
And then also, he had attitude issues early. So I mean, that's not good to factor in.
Yeah, he's from the city, man.
That place is a mess, though. Like, I don't know how much you can judge the players in Phoenix,
right?
Just because I don't think there's anything positive going there.
Yeah,
right. And he just turned 21. He's a young guy. I mean,
he's good.
So was the Payton acquisition positive or negative?
No, but it doesn't do anything. I mean, it was positive because they keep losing.
They benched him. He's not even playing.
I mean, if as a team they're donating hair to like some foundation, something like that, then it helps. If they're donating hair as a team, then it helps. But like if they're trying to win basketball games, then no, it does not help. Yeah.
Well, did he cut his hair or something?
No, I'm saying like if they ever want to donate it, he got his hair to donate. Oh shit, somebody drafted.
It's always in his face. It's gotta be a problem, right? Like he straight up loses vision every time he jumps.
Stay out the draft. I seen it and I didn't even click it, man. I left it alone for you. But if you're playing play draft, play talk hoops, play Mariano.
By the way, if you sign up with the B2B code, you automatically follow us.
Oh, word?
That's pretty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
No wonder I woke up in Chris Brown body.
I'm sorry, Seerat, I cut you off. What were you saying?
I was just saying, like, every time I see Alfred Payton play, his hair gets in his face. Like, every time he jumps or goes to the rim, even, like, dribbling, it's, like, flopping up and down. Like, how is that good for
this is
your vision at all?
Carlo Quinn actually shared. I was saying Carlo Quinn shared a story that Alfred Payton in Orlando almost cut his hair into a high top fade one time, and then he backed out.
Yo, the thing about it looks good.
The thing about Alfred Payton is that I feel like, and I want to assume this, right? I want this for him. I feel like he's going out there playing with that, his hair in his face as like a drill. You know how people play with like, how they say like people practice with like the strobe lights so they could, not be distracted by the cameras in the crowd and shit like that.
Heavy ball.
I wanna wish, but the thing is, he's not getting any better. So I don't know if that's what it is.
And like, I mean, when does the drill end, right?
Exactly. When do we see the results of this shit? Mm-hmm. Like now, at the end of his career, we're gonna just be looking like, okay, this guy is just a dickhead who never cut his hair. Okay.
Honestly, I feel like he'd shoot like a couple percentages better.
Damn it!
And
100%.
Like, it just seems so self-evident.
Hey Jay, work that mute.
All right, so I have he said work that mute. That's so funny. So I have the background on his hair. If you guys want to know about it.
Mm-hmm.
So Payton's hair actually holds quite a bit of significance to him. His high school team in Gretna, Louisiana, made a vow not to cut their hair until they won the state championship back in 2011. However, those dreams ended when John Enright High was beaten by Scotlandville in state semifinals. One of the worst nights of Peyton basketball life actually served as a notice that steadily blossoming point guard would no longer fly under the college prospect radar.
Well, the way he's playing right now, he can go back and play for that school right now.
So,
if you're not memorializing a dead person with that hair, just cut it.
Yeah. Well, go back. That's what I'm saying.
I don't care.
I mean, his dreams of winning a championship are dead. So
seems like he should move on from losing that high school state championship.
Oh shit, man!
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
He's like a Friday Night Lights character.
Zach,
All right.
Zach just posted a 6-person golf draft.
Jay, what?
Zach's doing golf drafts. I love it.
6-person golf draft.
I just seen a 6-person golf draft.
Hey, it's the Masters.
Oh, it's funny.
That's funny.
Hold on. I'm going to finish up my draft. Anyway.
This shit filled up quick.
I do have a call for you, Zach.
Oh, God.
I do have a call. Hold on a second. Hold on.
The bill collector?
So, Zach, I was studying for my certified spirit specialist, and in the chapter on vodka, it says it's made from a cereal, a grain of some sort, some sort of agricultural product. So, therefore, a cereal is pre-milk. So once you put it pre the milk, so once you put it in the milk, it's a soup. Milk's your broth. Cereal's your main product. Just
yeah. I mean, this is what I've been saying.
Yes.
You guys need to stop this.
He's not adding anything new to the conversation.
Yeah,
he's just confirming it.
Confirming what I know.
In the great words of Screaming A, put the weed down.
And some blueberries.
Off the weed.
Oh, who do we got? Draymond Green or Eric Bledsoe, Trey?
Eric Bledsoe.
What?
Or Ricky Rubio?
Wait, what?
Who they playing the
draft?
I'm only picking Ricky Rubio unless he's playing against Tibbs.
I'm going Bledsoe.
Man, I don't know any of these golfers.
Wait, did you already start?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's funny.
Shit, I wanted to get in that.
Yo,
Maze, you got
pick
any
anybody
basketball
named,
trivia
like,
for us?
Biff or Rory or like Chet or some shit like that.
There's
Like
no
yeah,
Biff.
Chet, pick him.
Is a Biff out there?
Yeah, if he is, I'm pretty sure there's some Biffs out there.
Yeah.
Biff.
Gotta be. Sergio Garcia, I've heard of him before. Is he still good?
He won last year.
Oh, so Dennis Rodman just gave a quote on LiAngelo Ball.
Okay, go.
He's not good at all. He's
Jesus
awful. He's just awful.
Jesus Lord.
Yeah, he sucks.
Man,
Like
those are really
for where he's wanting to be, he sucks. Obviously, he's better than all of us, but yeah, he's not good.
So LeVar's not going to pick up and move to North Korea?
No, he's a 6'2" power forward. That works in a rec league. Doesn't work. But that would work in North Korea.
Wasn't Dennis the advanced scout for the North Korean team?
I mean, what do we're using advanced a little loosely here, right?
Yeah.
Also, he looked like Winky Wright a little bit. Like, I don't know if nobody.
That's funny.
But
Nerlens Noel decision to turn down 4 years, $70 million from the Mavs last summer is now solidified as one of the worst financial decisions in NBA history.
It's a reverse Parsons right there.
The reverse Parsons.
So,
Chandler Parsons is terrible.
Maze, can you tell us about your trip to the desert?
Or sure, man. Yeah, it's not as psychedelic as the picture you guys painted.
Gotta go. All right, guys.
That's funny.
But come on, not slightly psychedelic.
Nah, that ended up not being the vibe.
No,
I was prepared for it to be the vibe, but it was not.
Were you doing some healing, like spiritual healing?
Doing some bocce ball.
Bocce ball.
A lot of desert, walking around, some Settlers of Catan with some higher stakes.
This was
lots of games.
This was
another bachelor party. This was
Joshua Tree.
Back-to-back bachelor party in Joshua Tree. Yeah.
Did you guys rock the U2 album while you were there?
I made that joke, and my friend was like, "Is that a thing?" And I was like, "I don't think so." we did have to play Palmdale, and we drove through Palmdale, though. That is a necessity.
I don't know what that is. What is Palmdale?
Afro Man.
Palmdale
is a city out in the desert. It's where Paul
because
George
I got high. Because I got high. Because I got high.
That album, I still ride for that album. That's a great album.
We lose Tom, I guess.
You said BRB.
All right. Well, I got another question then.
I seem to have success with like terms that just annoy the crap out of me. So like, I hate the term compare and contrast. Doesn't compare already mean similarities and differences? Whereas contrast is just differences. It's just redundant. It just pisses me off. Another one. Is there or is there not a special place in hell for people that do not walk the going rate? People that just walk slower than everyone else. Holding up my day, holding up yours. I don't know. See what's up.
I'm with this.
Why is he in a rush?
Dude.
Well, no, it depends where you are. Like people who walk really slow
Square?
close to subway stations, just
Yeah,
like what are you
but
doing?
I'm saying on the West Coast, we chill. Like we.
I was just about to say.
Well, you drive.
I was just about to say yesterday. So I took my dog out. You know, Gambit. Shout out to the G. Shout out to my son.
Yeah.
Took Gambit out, and so we're coming back, and so we're coming back, and like, so this lady is like walking in front of us, and she clearly like is walking super slow. And I'm not saying you got to speed walk or run, but it's like I got a dog right here who has a great, coat on him. Like, just respect us. Just move to the side a little bit, please. Like, you just don't walk slow and make me damn near choke him with the leash. Like, come on. Just move out the way.
Times Square. If you're in Times Square, then the people are all looking up. If you work there, like I did, it's the worst. It is the worst.
On this compare and contrast thing, it makes me think of cease and desist.
Yes.
Right.
Because the definition of desist is cease.
Right. I was about to say, look.
So
I was just about to say, like, if you said cease and, it's like, look, if you told me to do one or the other, if I did one, it would be both.
Stop and
stop again,
buddy. They should add a buddy to it.
Yeah. Please, sir, stop and halt right now, please.
Right. Oh, shit.
Keep them coming, people. Keep those great questions coming to the hotline.
I mean, if you ask Carlos Boozer, it'd be pick and Rose. It's just the pick, no roll, but whatever.
There you go. Anything else?
Tim McMahon just tweeted, Nerlens Noel's tenure with the Mavericks didn't go as anyone hoped, but at least he went out on a high note.
Oh, shit, man. Yeah. Shout out to Bam McMahon.
That's why he's banned.
What's worse? Nerlens Noel turning out 4 years, $70 million from the Mavs last summer, or Shabazz Muhammad turning down 4 years, $40 million, thinking he was going to get $20 million a year?
Shabazz.
Both Rich Paul guys. So
Shabazz is like 41 years old, though. His time is less. He got a lot less time.
I think Shabazz is crazier. So I would say Nerlens made the worst call.
$30 million.
Because Nerlens could still get like mid levels or higher, right?
Right.
I didn't mean higher in that way, but like mid levels or higher. Shabazz will be like lucky to get some minimum deals.
Right.
Let's flip it. Who was crazier for offering those deals in the first place? Or the Mavs?
I actually think they're both, based on like the history of those guys before this year, I think they're both kind of okay. Like it's an overpay for Shabazz based on what he had done, but he like really shit the bed this year, and I think it's because of the contract.
Right.
I think he felt too much pressure in turning down.
And I think with Nerlens Noel, like just historically in the NBA, like if you're a tall guy who showed you can play any type of basketball, they're willing to, like, teams are willing to pay you. Like,
yeah, like
have you on a roster.
I wouldn't look at, like, if he had signed that 4 year 70 and then he had the exact same years he had this year, I wouldn't think it's any worse than like Mozgov or Biyombo or Mahinmi or any of those deals, right?
Right. Yeah, I'm in on that. Jade, if you could play any position in the NBA, what would it be?
Any position?
Don't say referee.
Probably go. I like to have the ball in my hand, so I'll go point guard.
Also, what would your season, if you just give me one season, what would your numbers be? Like points and assists, not everything else, but just points and assists.
Averages?
Yeah.
Probably average about 18. Probably 10 assists. And 3.5 rebounds.
Okay.
Wait, are you on rollerblades while everybody else is just playing? Or?
1.5 steals.
Hold on. You said 18 points, 10 assists, 3.5
Yo, but
rebounds.
listen. I just want to listen. I
think that's Chris Paul's career average.
But I'm gonna tell you this. Listen. We know how we feel about Chris Paul over here. Shout out to Seerat. But I only wanted to know what Jay's state of mind was, like quote unquote tired, because I only asked him to name 2 and he named 4. So I just wanted to know. That's all.
So these are the people who've done this in
I'm
their
looking
career.
for tickets on Seat Geek.
Yeah, exactly.
So here we go. This has happened
10, looking for Dodgers tickets.
23 times. Hold on. This happened 23 times in NBA history. Those numbers. 18 points, 10 assists per game, 3.5 rebounds, 1.5 steals. Here are the people who did it. Tim Hardaway Sr. did it once. Michael Adams did it once. John Wall did it twice. Kevin Johnson did it twice. Russell Westbrook did it 3 times. Isaiah Thomas did it 4 times. Chris Paul 5. Magic Johnson 5. So this is a company you put yourself in.
Does that not make sense?
Chris Paul, Magic Johnson hybrid.
Isn't that just about right? Is what I'm saying. Yeah. What'd you expect me to say?
That's just the baseline.
You know?
Oh my God!
I like how in a fantasy world Jay kept it modest and he said those numbers like,
something light. Magic Johnson, Chris Paul.
Just a Hall of Fame point guard level. That's it.
I'm glad I didn't say something nobody's ever done. That would have been embarrassing.
35 points, 22 assists.
It was a hell of a year, Zach.
Oh shit!
Oh my goodness.
You getting Dodgers? We going to Dodgers game?
I'm looking for Dodgers tickets. Not that I'll be in LA anytime soon, but
hey, if you want to send those over to me, go to a Dodgers game.
I'm just kind of curious what baseball tickets cost in general. It's affordable. I mean, you can go see the Dodgers for an affordable rate, $29. Top. There's really
not a bad seat in that stadium either.
Well, I kind of like when you click the link here, it shows you gives you the field view.
It's great.
I mean, $29, a little far back, but still affordable. Anyway, I guess Tom's done. He's not coming back. And I think that'll just about do it, eh? Seerat, what are you working on these days?
I got a big weight thing coming out tomorrow, so I'll pre-spam that for you guys. Nothing. Yeah, I haven't had much lately. Actually, I've just been working on that. So yeah.
Big. What's that?
How was your visit to Los Angeles?
Yeah, tell us about the LA trip.
Oh, it was great. 7 whole days. Just chilling on the beach for like the first half. Went to the Clippers-Bucks game. That was a great game. That arena is like, I've been to the Staples Center before, but man, like, it's fun. It kind of it washes away the whole everything going on with the Clippers. They do it right. That game experience is good. And yeah,
I was at that game too, by the way.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Awkward.
Huh.
Enjoy the city.
It's funny. Yeah, I didn't even know Seerat was in town. That's weird.
It's crazy.
I thought you guys were gonna meet up. I saw you guys twittering each other.
Yeah, but I ended up going to the Bay
the next day.
Yeah.
And Zach, I kind of forgot that you live in LA. You moved.
Yeah, no, it's cool. No, I'm glad to have heard from you.
I'm sorry.
only person she said she possibly linked up, was on pace to link up with was Big Waz.
Yeah, we went for Mexican.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's good though, because I love Mexican food, so that would have been awful for me.
Oh, okay.
That would have been terrible.
You would have been eating instead of talking.
Yeah. By the way, Jade, you want to go to a Pelicans Clippers game on Monday, next Monday? $9 on Seat Geek.
I'm going.
Refund.
Zach.
Because if you use the promo code B2B, you get $20 off your first Seat Geek purchase. So that's $11 left over.
Yeah, go get another ticket.
Zach, take the day off, and then we just sit in some terrible seats.
Dude.
And just heckle.
You should.
Oh, I'm into heckle.
That's what I'm saying. I just want to heckle.
Talk heckle.
Last time I heckled, I almost got kicked out by Brian Colangelo.
Damn, that's funny.
Is going to the Bay the new enjoy the city, Trey?
Nah.
No.
Nah. I actually played in the Warriors World Tourney. That's why I went to the Bay.
Forgot all about that. Yes.
Yeah.
Did you guys win that?
So we lost in the semifinals. Friend of the show, friend of the pod, also Wells P lost in the semifinals. We lost to the Warriors, Golden State Warriors outsider guys, Drew Schiller and Kirk Lakeup team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're pretty much ringers, man. Like they do this all the time.
What was your team?
A guy named Grant, who's a listener of the show, and then also 2 younger guys that played for San Francisco City.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it was a fun experience.
So they recruited you? They recruited you.
So Grant, I gave Grant my big man from college who was 6'9" last year, and they made it pretty far. And I played with another team, but Grant had reached out to me about a month ago asking, did I want to play? And I was like, sure. But this year was probably the first year that I actually felt my age, like legitimately like hurting after like game 4. By the time we swept our round and we got to the playoffs, it was pretty rough. It was kind of like, you know what I mean? I haven't played for like 2-3 hours straight in like years.
Had the Gatorade cup under your name out there?
Oh man, it was so bad. And I made some big shots. Yeah. I seen our guy Sam from Warriors World Pod. So I got to holler at him for a little bit. He got to watch me play. I made some shots, but like at the end of the day, I was just gassed. Like I hadn't played ball in a minute. So like for me to just get off the couch and do it, it was fun. But then it was also like for next year, I'm refereeing. I think I'm pretty much done.
Interesting, Trey.
You got to make a controversial call in the game. You got to.
Yep.
Oh yeah, no. This is the thing. You know, shouts to Sheet. They put on a great event. But they had like 2 of his boys referee, and like one dude was like, yo, hey man, he just asked me to referee 5 minutes ago. So a lot of guys were like getting mad off of no calls. And we actually got in a scenario where we had to call our own calls at one point. But yeah, I'm gonna actually wear some stripes next year and help those guys out and be a funny ref or be a real annoying ref at that.
You know what you got to do? Yo, listen, I heard a story. This is one of the funny stories ever, and I text Zach immediately when I heard this. Zach said he refereed this game where he was making bad calls, and he was telling the kids, like, listen, I'm just doing this to help you because you're going to have to learn how to play through bad calls when you get older.
I was lying.
Crazy.
I was lying.
Zach is
so bad at
ref ever.
Yo, so the funny thing about that refereeing thing, we used to have to do camps. You know, like the summer camps as a team, and we would be reffing, and we would get so caught up in the game of watching and forget to make the calls. Right. Oh my god!
So this was like a freshman team versus JV team scrimmage within the high school, and I had to ref it, and I was just watching the game. I wasn't looking for anything.
Jade, I threw out a mom.
Why?
She just would, because she wouldn't let me. Like she was just letting me have it. She's like, you blind out there? Oh. What's going on, Stripes? I'm like, this is 7 years old. Like these kids are 7. Like,
you know what, lady, like, you're out of here.
Yeah. So like, I told.
Did you do like the umpire thing? You know?
No. I just said I can't
give it 3 steps and
I blew the whistle really hard. Listen, This is the thing. I was super dramatic about it. I blew the whistle really hard. I went to the desk and I said, I can't work in these conditions. It got her tossed out. Man, I was tired of her, dude. She was like riding me like. I did one game, and she sat down and waited and watched the next game just to heckle me. Yeah. And I just was over it. I was like, she got to go.
Had enough.
She got to go. Well, you know, some parents think that, you know, because they have athletic experience, their kid deserves every call.
Parents are the worst.
They know the game.
They are
and
the
it's
worst.
Just like, oh.
They're absolutely the worst. They ruin everything.
So I respect I respect refs that know how to keep
They should keep
skin.
parents out of youth athletics. In fact, just keep them out. They're worthless.
Yo, speaking of a parent, LeBron posted a post about Bronny saying, you know, I talk about, you know, I promote, hold on, I have the actual quote here. He's talking about sportsmanship, but then also bigs his son up, which was crazy to me. Like, you know, you guys have kids and, you know, your children are going to play sports. Would you do this? He says, Bronny, chill out. We practice sportsmanship in this house, but he did pick you up in the backcourt like he wanted smoke. So you had to do what you had to do. And it's the kid falling after LeBron Jr. Did a spin move. And it says hashtag James Gang, strive for greatness. Would you do that for your child?
I mean, luckily, like my oldest,
especially with your platform. Like, if you're LeBron James, are you doing that?
Probably not, because like this is the thing. My oldest daughter is like, you know, in the ballet and gymnastics and stuff like that. My youngest, she still haven't figured out. She's 3. She hasn't figured out what she want to do yet. But I wouldn't do that if I'm LeBron, because it's like when that kid gets older and he like dunks on your fucking son, he's gonna remember that tweet and be like, "Remember this shit from like 20 years ago."
Yeah, but LeBron's gonna get rid of the tape of that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, because I looked at it like, you know, I guess I'm trying to give LeBron a little bit of slack of being a parent, but I've never seen, I mean, I follow a lot of people on social media. I've never seen anyone like really promote that. You know, normally it's just somebody excited that their kid made a first shot. Right. Or that their kid is just now starting athletics, but not. I
think this is the thing. I think if you're LeBron, you can say that to your son. Like, look, bro, you can show him the tape and like, look, hey, we practice sportsmanship here, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. I don't think you put it on social media. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just me. Like, even if I'm LeBron James, like, I'm. But I think
that's anything he does, though. I think he does the most obvious stuff that he can like 100%. Pick up the phone and text someone. 100%. He'd be like.
When he put sheets, listen, when he dunked on homie, what was it Nurkic? He dunked on Nurkic?
Yeah.
Yeah, so when he did that and he put all the like 11 emojis on it, I knew nothing was off limits. Like, he's gonna just wild out. Like, this is just what it is. That's why I'm tired of this shit.
Arrogant Brian.
To be fair, he only has 36.4 million followers on Instagram. So not that many people suck.
Yeah. That's true.
That is fair.
That is fair.
All right, peoples. Thank you very much.
Damn, 36 million people Instagram?
Yeah. It's not really 36 million.
Over a million people like that post.
One follower for every time Nick Wright defended him. So not that much.
So about 18,000 of those are Nick Wright fan accounts.
Pretty much.
That's crazy.
Harper, what'd you say?
Did I say? Oh, over a million people like the post.
Yeah.
That's shaky, man. That ratio would be always crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never get that stuff, man. Like, you have like
it's an algorithm.
It's an algorithm. Okay, all right.
Those are bots. Bots.
Wait, are you saying an algorithm? Like, it's the internet or
algorithm? Yeah.
Right. Okay, it's the internet. Right. Okay.
Oh, okay. Shouts to Al Gore and global warming. That's where we got algorithms from, huh?
Or maybe
who was the math teacher that year? Monte?
Bots are like PEDs, dude.
Could be.
They're like PET. Like, they're the most sophisticated bots you can't tell are operating right now. It'll only be like 3 years.
The shoe bots, man.
3 years from now, you'll see. Like, all the old bots are now being decommissioned. You know.
Yeah, Jade, I've been a bot on this pod for about a year now, and you haven't noticed yet. So
there you go.
Getting real sophisticated.
He's dreaming now. This bot. All right, gotta go. Thanks, Tom, for coming back, and Waz. Appreciate it.
Is Waz still in that Uber pool?
Another
Waz might be in an actual pool.
Another amazing effort from Waz. Thank you, buddy. Shouts to your pod uninterrupted.
Shouts to Uninterrupted.
He definitely didn't interrupt us today, so he's on.
Yeah, he didn't want to interrupt.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. It's on brand.
He did have some great lines though yesterday. The Compton Cowboys.
Yeah.
Shout out to those guys doing it the unconventional way. That killed me. All right. Sorry, Trey. We keep rubbing this in. We keep rubbing this in, man. All right, peace. Thank you.
All right, just
later.
Weed. You come on now, and then you come on TV, you come on
Stephen A. He got a